What a week I've had, I tell you. I've had a daft go down, engine ECU, had to get that record in, new ECU programmed, sorted that, that's back on the road. MOT this morning, road closures, it took me an hour longer than it needed to. And last night I had an alternator go down on this truck here. Well, starting to go down. He managed to limp it back from 3.5 hours away because it was just holding charge at 24 volts. So this morning's job, well, the third job of this morning, is have a look at this, diagnose the fault on this, check it is alternator, not wiring or dodgy sensor or anything. It could be anything, couldn't it? So we're going to get into this. I've got a fork truck with a leaky fork, lift ram. Got a job on that, learner vehicle there. It's been a mad week, Let's get into this anyway. I'll fill you in more as we go. Bad insult to injury. My main man, Tyler, my apprentice, he's gone to Egypt for 2 weeks, so I'm on my own now. I'm a struggle, aren't I? So this is the fault, but he's managed to get it back. Fair play to the man, because it was a long way away and I didn't fancy it. And he's listened to that the whole way home. So we'll do some diagnostics and see if it's wiring or if the alternator is actually faulty. Last night on my way home, sorry for the noise, I picked up an alternator, say on my way home, I went to Newark to get it. Because I was anticipating having to go and meet him wherever it stopped to bolt it on. I just thought it'd be a bonus if you could get as far back as possible, so I didn't have to go so far. But he managed to get it all the way back. He's gone in a spare lorry this morning, so absolute win-win. Top man, Neil, top man. Saved me some hours anyway. But yeah, we'll get cracked on with this, and then I'll think about what the rest of the day has to hold, because there's jobs everywhere and my head's a little bit busy at the minute with it all. So this is what the dash says it's currently charging at, which obviously isn't good. And it's saying battery status, it's charging, but she's nowhere near where she should be. So first thing I'm going to do is actually test it at the batteries and make sure it's not a sensor fault. But these Volvos will switch themselves off after a certain amount of seconds. So if you knock the cruise up a couple of revs, it won't switch off, and so I can test it. Because by the time I get the battery cover off, it'll switch off. Look at this absolute chaos. I've got tools everywhere, man. But the trusty old Snap-on multimeter, it's what we need. 23.7 volts. Eight charges in the battery anyway, so it's not a sensor fault. It's definitely not charged. To this point, we'll test it the other way. Disconnect these, because that's the working lights. The alternator's dead, and I did mess up because I tipped the cab in a position where I can't open the door to switch it off, so I've just had to pull the battery lead off to kill it, but those wheels away. This is absolute light work, so belt off, mounting bolts, multi-plug and battery lead. Battery's obviously already disconnected. Light work, innit? Hopefully the one I picked up last night is the correct one. So let's start pulling some bolts off, get this job out of the way. Because I've got loads more to do. Got loads more fun to be had today yet. And it's like 10:30 because traffic. This is one I chucked a water pump on a couple of weeks ago. So belt tension's down there, 1/2 inch drive. I've got this little piece which I can put extensions on. So we'll whip that off, whip it off a pulley, and then we can unhook it off the alternator then. I just used my new Snap-on 1/2 inch ratchet. Fits in there beautiful, you know what I mean? That's the belt off the idler, so it should unhook off the alternator now. Shrivel up. This is what I did. I tipped it here, so now my door won't open because of that wall. Schoolboy error. Huh? Never mind. In theory, this should just... maybe not, because I've just undone the wrong tensioner. Schoolboy error number 2. Absolute amateur hour. Just undone the wrong belt. Didn't even look, did I? I'll put that back on. We don't need to take that off. We'll put that back on. You know what I mean? Top camera angles as always. Just focus on me, yeah? Just focus on me. Yeah, this is what happens when you're busy and your head's on like 5 different jobs at once. You make silly mistakes and that's 2 in one job. You can only imagine how many I make off camera, can't you? Thankfully, they're 2 minors, which are only an inconvenience to myself. Second time lucky. What are you saying? Oh, this is going to be more difficult. Oh, I'll tell you what, I'm multitasking me, aren't I? I'm holding the bar and a phone, and we just whip the belt off. And then we can leave that bar in there for when we put it back on, because as long as it don't fall off the crank, we're all good. Now we can whip this multi-plug off. We'll snip that cable tie. It earths through the body, I believe. So there's a bolt there, That's it. That's it, and a battery lead. Light work. Whip this one off. That's the battery feed, which is dead because I disconnected battery. Multi-plug off, so I need some snippers for that. I have to shed a layer because I am sweating. It's not even that sunny, but it's hot. It is when you're next to a 13-litre diesel that's been running for the last 4 hours. I've got these 2 mountain bolts out. Cable off, plug off. Just get rid of this cable tie. And then we can try and wrestle it out this hole. But I might need to take this compressor pipe off. We will see. Yeet. Yeet. It's one of them wee cable ties. Oh, just trapped my hand. We'll get a little lever bar because it's tight on that bottom bolt. Pinch between. There's 2 collars that nip it up. Oh. You reckon that one's big enough? Bit big. Bit big. That's what she said. We'll go for this one. This is more of a manageable size. It's not about the size, you know. It's about how you use it, you know what I mean? I think I'm missing a trick here. Because it's just wobbling back and forth. Did you hear that? I think I put a bit too much strain and farted. No matter how old you get, a fart's always funny. And I'm 30-year-old. Oh, she's tweeting. Need a big bar. All that talk about size. Bigger the better, apparently. If it don't come off the way it should, it will come off. Doesn't matter if it's right or wrong, does it? Scrap anyway. You know what I mean? I'm going to try and bar it sideways. It might open up the spaces. I think that tactic was the trick, you know. I do. Oh, you're back. So before Mother Nature rudely interrupted us, we were replacing an alternator on a Volvo FH. Oh, and I nearly missed this. I got this alternator from Partick Newark. You know who goes to Partick Newark, don't you? Only the struggler. Yeah, he does. I didn't see him though. While you were gone, I fetched the alternator out of my van, and I've got the old one off. And basically the trick is, I'll show you. When you tighten up the bottom bolt, this collar slides and nips it against the hanger. So just bar it to the side a little bit, it'll push that collar back and then you can lift it out. Thankfully we've got the correct alternator. All I've done is robbed the nut off this one and put it on that blank so I can put that rubber boot on. Other than that, she's the same. So let's chuck her in there. I'd try and set you up on a beautiful camera angle, but man don't got no tripod to rope. You know what I mean? Breadline. Can't afford it. Bread and water around here. You know what I mean? So let's chuck this bad boy in. It comes out about taking that compressor pipe off and off, in case you was wondering. It's a really, really, really easy job for once. Because not all jobs on these lorries are easy, trust me. I had a nightmare earlier in the week. I got called out to Sleaford. Scania, non-start, transmission fault, ADAS, obviously wouldn't run, wouldn't drive. Diagnosed failed ECU, so I had to get wrecked back here by Burrows where I got a brand new ECU. Obviously fitted it all, then I used my gel test to code it all. They logged into my computer and do you mind working while I'm trying to record at work? Yeah, so they coded it remotely, 270 quid, which was pretty cool. I watched the process. It's on my TikTok if you want to take a look at that video. I'm trying to do a bit for both things, TikTok and YouTube, because I have people who like watching my stuff on TikTok, and I'm trying to get better on the YouTube. But my ADHD prefers the TikTok because it's shorter format, and the editing for this YouTube thing, as you see, I've gone a bit more raw dog, so I ain't got to put too much effort in. Say too much effort, it's still a lot of effort for me. But we got the alternator in, whilst I was rambling for that last 1 minute 36 seconds. The alternator's in the hole, so let's get some bolts in. Which is in there. So that bolt goes in the top, there's a long one I drop down that side of the engine. That goes in the bottom, battery lead on there, multi-plug on there, cable tie on there, belt on there. You'll be a goer again, yeah? The bottom bolt is in. Now we can shut the top one in. Like this. Should we try to do it one-handed? The risk of dropping it into the abyss. This is why my missus married me. Watch this. I've got a nut in my mouth. Like that. No mean. Oh yeah. Where did you learn that, Ash? There, that's how I learned it. You're a bit rough. Dirty pig. Dirty pig. The mountain bolts are tight. Now we can bang this battery lead on. Like so. This multi-plug can go on. Voila. Cable tie can go around there in a minute, and the belt can go on. I'm going to do the belt two-handed this time. Showed you I can do it one-handed. I'm not showing off, am I? Some camera angles, me, ain't there? Some camera angles. Let's get this belt on. Make sure it stays on that crank pulley, because I don't fancy having to mess about with that, you know what I mean? Can't bothered. Quick jobs. Big jobs only. We're just off this. Is it aircon? I think it's aircon. No, it's not. It's power steering. Power steering pump. Oh, she's a good one. We're on. Right, belts on, bolts tight. Battery lead needs a nipping up. Like so. Just grab a cable tie. Then we put battery lead back on. Get a nice little spark because the ignition's still on. The battery cable is back on. Just sling a cable tie around this. And the cap can come back down. And we can fire up. Test if we're charging at batteries, can't we? Bash. Where's my snips gone? What you done with them, you dweeb? Probably put them as far away as possible because I like to do that. I like to make life as difficult as possible for myself. I had no business moving them. There was no job for these down there and they were on the engine, so why I did that I don't know. Right, cab down. I like pumping cabs back down because it either means you fixed it or it's the easy way. Going up is hard work, going down it's easy. It's normally mission accomplished at that point. That was probably the famous last word. I should have said that. Confident I've even plugged the working lights back in already. Should we see what all this bonging is about? It's better than a DAF, isn't it? Contact workshop, alternator failure. Yeah, I know. I just changed it, mate. What I'm going to do before I start it, Volvo, if you press this down and the first flash you hold it, it'll switch everything off, it'll power everything down. it'll go click, bash, everything's dead. Now, put ignition on, let it wake up, let it do its thing. You get me copyrighted. So we'll give it a sec, to think about what it's doing. Normally that screen lights up. Are you gonna light up? Yeah, boy. Alternator failure, right, let's crank her over. Oh, it's shut up now. Should we see what she's charging at? Gauges. Battery status charging. Ooh, buddy. Charging at 27 volts now, Gorge. Just for the sake of the video, I will test it at the batteries as well. Should we do that now? Just knock her on cruise so she don't switch off. Boom, baby. We'll park this one up and bring the next one in. That's where that fork truck was sat. And I had a quick look off camera because I had people around me. And it was the little bleed bolt at the top of the ram had come loose. So that was an easy fix, wasn't even worth showing you, you know what I mean? So that's another job. I thought I was going to have to take the ram off and take it up to Melly at Beckingham for resealing, but just a little bleed bolt. Put a new copper washer on, some PTFE tape. She's like a new one. I'm just tidying up now because I've got stuff all over the show and it just messes with my brain when I've got chaos everywhere. Next job, we're in DSM's Volvo. So he says when you're pressing the brakes, it's pulling to one side. So I'm thinking maybe we've got a C slider pin on one of the calipers. So I'm going to road test it. And fun fact, I did my class 1 in this truck with a drawbar trailer on. It was many years ago now. I can't remember how many years ago, but it's a few years ago. He's had it a bit. So yeah, see what we can find with this real quick. I'm off-road, I'm not on the road, it's private. And apparently when you press the brake, it's pulling one way, so let's give it a whirl. Yeah, it's pulling to the right slightly. I'll go a bit faster up here and see if I can get it to do it a bit more positively. Do you know what I mean? But I now have a lorry behind me, so it's not brake checking Arctic, not a good idea on a Friday because everyone's flat out, you know what I mean? Up. Seatbelt. It's not mad. It's not crazy pull. But I do know Dale likes to keep this thing right. So you can be a little bit finicky sometimes, which is the best way to be when you're running lorries. It certainly is. One thing I don't like about this truck is it's got wheel trims, so I can't see the pads and discs without doing a full excavation. So I'm going to have to pull the wheels off to actually inspect the pads. So it's not like a Scania where you can see the pad thicknesses on the dash. It's definitely pulling to the right when you brake. I think that front caliper, well, I think that side's probably seized and this one's activating sooner. But we'll get it on the pit and I'll have a good look. Bradshaw's in a 23 plate MAN. We haven't had one of them yet. I don't know if you can see it, but at low speed, hands are off the wheel, yeah? It's pulling and then it squares itself up, so it's like that caliper's got a delay. That's what my suspicion would be anyway. That's what I'm saying. But I'm wrong all the time, so we'll pull it to bits and actually have a look as opposed to just making assumptions, because you know what they say about assumptions, don't you? They make an ass of you and me. Yeah, let's get some wheels off. Talking crap on it. Let's get some wheels off. On the pit, jacked up. I haven't checked it yet. Well, that one spins free. I'm expecting this side to be slightly tight and the pins to be slightly seized on the caliper, making that offside caliper apply slightly quicker. It's not seized. It's not seized. Doesn't mean the slider's not seized. We've got an air leak down there. Hopefully that's my airline into the jack. It is not. It's that chamber. I think it's that chamber. Good look. Chamber's leaking. That's with the handbrake off. I'm still going to whip these wheels off and inspect disc pads and sliders because I can. Started off gentle, didn't last long, did it? What was that, 2 swings? Discs and pads look okay. Hoppa!
Shouldn't use ratchet spanners to cap off bolts.
As if you don't.
As is the caliper.
I don't know if the YouTube lot know, but Big Nath just rang me from City. The company's just ceased trading, so it's a bit of a bad time. But he rang me, so I answered. He said 3 words. He went, "Oh, let me ring you back," and that's typical Nath. He rings you and then says, "I'll ring you back." Anyway, back to the story. So pads are free in the caliper. Caliper's free, the bird winds off beautiful. So I think chamber's just got a delay because there's air coming out when you're pressing the foot brake and it's not pushing the rod. So I'm going to strip the other side, just check the pads, discs and sliders on that side, and then I can let DSM know that what it is. And Big Nate's ringing me right now, so I'm going to take this phone call. Those wondering why I'm not using the inch Milwaukee, it's because that was already on the floor, because me and my apprentice yesterday were tag teaming. I was doing one side of something and he was doing the other, so I was using the air gun and it was still out. But that won't touch that wheel not. So should we test it? Should we test the inch Milwaukee? See if this will break it off. I bet the battery's flat. Oh, we got 2 bar. 2 bar, let's have a look. 2 bars. The answer to that question is neither. What are we on? Are we on 4? We're on 4. We're on full power. Full power mode. I have another solution. You want to see my other solution? I actually try and oil the thing because it's a bit neglected, this gun. Should we see if that works? Try again. Third time lucky. I've got all the others off. Turns out a bit of lube never hurt anyone. Doesn't it? Huh? A bit of tool maintenance. Who'd have thought it? Maintaining tools would be a good idea. Just get me sledgehammer now. It's my favourite too. Air's gone down that quick from that chamber leaking and the brakes are on already. What have I been? 10 minutes tops. That check strap don't work very well, does it? So let's build the air back up. You stay there. Stay! Oh, but I've left it in gear, haven't I? You. I have an all. Better. Yeah, no air. That chamber's leaking real good. But it's one of them, you won't hear it leaking unless you was to get out of the lorry with the handbrake off, and you don't generally do that, do you? I've only done that because I know the floor's flat and I do that to spin wheels. So Dale was not to have known that was leaking, because when he's got the handbrake off, he's sat in it. Does that make sense? So build this air up and then check these pads, distance sliders, and then give him the verdict. I bet the chamber for that's dear. It's not. I don't know if I've got one. But I want it. Looks like a trailer one. Maybe. No. Don't know. Who knows? I don't know. No, it's the same, but it's different. Every mechanic that's been doing this for a while will have come across this. I've been called out to this before. Thinking, why aren't that brake releasing? The air pressure's dropped with the brakes off. So you know what happens with an old Volvo when that happens? Bronze brake. I bet it's got one. Oh, it does an whole lot. That's why the brakes weren't released. I've been called out to that before. Literally jumped in lorries and laybys and gone. And drivers always go. But it's free now. That's better, isn't it? Yeah. She's a good one. She just wants a chamber. I've managed to source a chamber, which was quite difficult. First quote, £480. Second quote, £270. Third quote, which I've gone for, £135. One was Norbrems, one was Wabco. I don't even know what the other one was, but for like half the price of the second cheapest one, it's worth a punt, innit? So I've just put this side back together. That's an absolute faff, putting all them trims on. You got to line it up with like, yeah, painful. But these are tightened, torqued up to 650. So I'll get this side built up. I've got some paperwork to do, and then hopefully by the time I've done the job sheets, that chamber will be here. That's the plan, anyway. So that's that bad boy off. Fittings are cracked off, but I'll leave them in until the new one comes, because I don't know which way around they went. And this is the reason I changed it. It's all rotted out here. There's a hole in there somewhere. Now you know. Now I've got to do the worst part of this job, and that's paperwork, because I manage this workshop when I'm here. There's lots of it, and I've been neglecting it the last 3 days, because it's the fourth day I've been here, fourth day. And I'm miles behind, so wish me luck. I'm not going to take you on that journey, because you don't need to suffer with me. 902,000 kilometres. She's done some leg for a 2013. That's only on driver training, isn't she? Huh? And the reason I'm getting the mileage is because invoicing and that. Reg and mileage, you know what I mean? Adult stuff. Who said to be an adult was fun? I hate being an adult. I want to go back to being a child, but I don't want to go back to school. I just want to be a child again, but no school. Didn't like school. School wasn't for me. Yeah. Someone's robbed my van. Where's my van gone? Where's it gone? Keynes Farms. Nice quick one, that. Indicators weren't working. There's a multi-plug under there that had gone all green. And now the green's on my face, but it looks a bit. The chamber's still not here. I've done 3 job sheets. I keep getting collared. We will get there. I assure you, we'll get there. Oh, I've got a new Volvo delivered. Should I show you it? They've spec'd it with some air horns and they look absolutely awful. It's literally just been delivered. It's not got stickers on it yet. So the chamber showed up, but it wants clocking because the port's in the wrong position. Port studs that way. Port should be to the left. So I'm going to have to clock that. But I already said I'm going to show you this new Volvo, didn't I? So I'll just show you real quick because I want to get this job boxed off. And there's some Hadleys on the roof. I don't know if I already said this. Can't remember. I've been collared 3 times since my last clip. It's Friday, isn't it? Everyone's coming home. Yeah, there's some Hadleys on the roof and they look absolutely awful. I don't know who spec'd them, whether the driver's been told he was having it before it went into the thing and he asked for them or what, I don't know. But they look absolutely terrible. Brand fire new. Not even a number plate on it. Painted wing tops, little axle for weight, and then whatever those are. Them brackets look absolutely awful. Don't look too bad on the camera, but it's not a good look, mate. It's a beautiful lorry, but them horns, what the? And also someone in the comments might be telling me exactly what this is, because I've had a look around it. What's that box there? What's that do? Definitely not a parking sensor, because there's definitely going to be a trailer in the way of that. I'm assuming it's a reverse bleeper or something. I ain't sat in it yet, because I haven't even looked at it. So let's have a first look. You're going to whinge about them keys on that paint, aren't you? Less than ideal. Less than ideal. There's lots of them. Even the key fobs aren't coded yet, so it can't have been PMI'd or PDI'd, what it's called. Pre-delivery inspection, PDI, innit? Let's have a look. 1, 2, 3. Oost. Oh, got microwave, eh? It used to be there, I'm sure it did. Microwave. Storage. Please check wheel nuts after 50 miles. That's a slightly different dash to the other one. Doesn't have them curved edges. Shall we fire her up? Yeah, that's ever so different, that dash. Nice! Got a nice little blue trim. Storage. Refrigerator. Can't reach it. Can't reach it. Is that locked? What's going on there? I've got a fridge. It's locked. Maybe they want to keep their snacks safe. Well, that's the problem. The fridge won't come out. I don't think it's been PMI'd yet. PDI'd, whatever. It's got the night heater on and off and the temperature up and down on the back wall. Sunroof, lights, mattress topper. She's a beauty. These are my favourite lorries. These blue cloth seats. The others have come like that. Not a big fan of that situation. Very good, very nice. Oh, let's listen to the Hadleys. Should you ever listen to the Hadleys? Sound alright. Just look terrible. She's a good one. She's a good one. Should that be the thumbnail? New Volvo, yay! Still not a Transit though, is it? It's not going to be the thumbnail, I've already picked it. Anyway, I'm off to fit a chamber, because I can. Kept the gear lever the same, gear selector. What are you doing that lorry with dirty hands? Not really sure. Don't really know. I'm getting out of it right now. Love a Volvo, me. I love them. 13'8". There you go. Like a Golf. So to clock it, just slacken that nut off just enough that it's not going to... You know what I mean? And then a filter strap and just crank around a bit. She wants to be 90 degrees that way, doesn't she? The trick to this is don't die. That's the trick. That compressor annoys me as much as it does you, don't worry. Don't you worry about that, sweetheart. Putting a lot of faith in the fact that this thing's going to go all of a sudden, because I'm leaning on it quite hard. Boom. Nipper back up. She's a good one. Minor speed bump in the road, but the chamber they sent me, the ports were the opposite way around. So I had to swap the pipes and the fittings, because I couldn't wind the chamber rod in, because there's still pressure on it, I'm thinking. I looked, and my other chamber, this one was port 12 and then one was 11. So the ports are the wrong way around. So they must have sent me an offside chamber, even though I specifically said I want a near side brake chamber. Anyway, we've overcome that issue. Now I'm going to see if this pipe's going to be a problem against the rim, because I can't put that 45 at the back no more, because they're different diameters. One's M22, one's M16, something like that. Range travel. Yeah, so We actually have brake pressure in the chamber now. I'm just going to pull the park brake, check it's not leaking that side, and the wheels can go back on. Wheel, already done this one. Nearly there. It's never straightforward on a Friday though, is it? Yeah, she's a good one. I'll chuck this rim on now, make sure we've got plenty of clearance from the back of the tyre to that pipe. If not, I can always clock it. And the reason this job's taking so long is because in between these clips, a new job pulls up at the door because it's Friday and they're all coming home with a little problem. So I've done like 8 jobs in between this job. I've ordered parts, I've done some paperwork. Got one of them, carry on. Yeah, Fridays are crazy. She's a good one. We got loads of room up there, haven't we? Wheels on, all them little trims are on. Nearly dropped you then, but I didn't. I caught it. It's fine, cable tie. So totally these wheel nuts now. And road test it. You know what I mean? We're nearly there. I thought it was going to be a late finish, but we're on track. We are on track. Typical Volvo. Little bit of an oil leak. Still the best lorry on the road though. Definitely is. Still doing exactly the same thing. So now I'm starting to think, obviously it wasn't a complete waste of time because that chamber was rotten, but I'm starting to think maybe the steering column's not sliding. Do you know they're on a sliding yoke? So when I'm braking, the cab's ducking. Is the steering column not collapsing and kinking over the UJ? That's what I'm thinking. I'm gonna have to have a look, aren't I? So that late finish is happening, isn't it? Because I'm not at work tomorrow and he wants this Monday. What a day! I've got a plan, Stan. Bear with me. I've got a plan. So my plan is to run these rollers together, apply the brakes and see if one's pulling harder than the other side, just to eliminate the brakes. And then I can start looking at the steering column if that isn't the problem, if that makes sense. Just thinking outside the box. It's not pulling hard, which is annoying. I don't think I'm screwing the roll. I don't think the tracking's any good, to be honest, because I'm in them rollers square, parallel with the line. Look. So I don't think the tracking's very good for one. But let's roll them. Let's roll them anyway. Press accept. It should roll it as an axle. So we haven't got any wild bind. And then if I roll the brakes on, they're pulling fairly evenly, aren't they? Obviously you're going to get fluctuation, but they're pulling and dropping fairly even. But if I let go of the steering wheel, it's just trying to sod off. And is it going to square up? We're nearly at the edge of the roller now. I think it was squaring up then, you know. Maybe I want straight. Right, so it's happy in that position. It's happy in that position, yeah? The bind's not miles away. We're talking kilograms. Touch the brake. They're pulling fairly square, them. But it's twitching the steering. Them brakes are pulling fairly square. I really am scratching my head with this one because I can move the column up and down in the truck. Is it 2 joints? I don't know. But the bit throwing me, obviously I know the brakes are good, so I've just seen them pull up. When let me show you. If I pull forward and brake, it pulls to the right, but when it stops, it squares back up when the cab lifts. If it was brakes, you would expect it to continue turning one way, wouldn't you? Look, cab's ducking, cab's squared up, and then it kinks back. I know this truck recently was in a smash. They knocked all this front corner off, someone backed into it. So I'm wondering if something's bent. Something bent because the steering box hasn't been replaced. It's the original steering box. Looks like the original steering column. Don't know, I think I'm probably overcomplicating this now, aren't I? It's not brakes. It's not brakes. It's not brakes! It's not brakes! I don't like to go home with an unfinished job. We're gonna have to abandon ship. I put that learner vehicle over there because I'm meant to be out tonight for one of my pals' birthdays for a few drinks, and it's already 6 p.m. and I was meant to get picked up at 6 p.m. I've tried my best, I have. So I'm gonna shoot home. My man don't need it till Monday, so worst case, come in tomorrow or Sunday on my days off and have a look. But yeah, that's it for this week's video. If you haven't already subscribed, make sure you subscribe, like, comment, all that jazz. Do your boy a favour. It's been a long week this week. You've only seen one day. This week's been a long one. I should record more, but you know how it goes. You know how it goes. Sometimes you can, sometimes you can't. But thanks for watching. I'll catch you in the next one. You have not beaten me yet. I will be back. And you, I don't know what your horns are all about, but I don't like them. I like you, but I don't like your horns.